Hello and welcome to a very special and new episode of Movies You Missed podcast. Both John and I are thrilled for this episode today, I believe. John, you want to confirm?
I'm pretty excited about it, that's for sure.
Great, me too. We've been talking about it for long enough, doing an episode like this, so we're glad to finally make it official and do a mid-year review.
Yeah, mid-year review. Middle of June. Movies, mid-year review. I guess that's our theme song now for even next year.
That would not be it.
Yeah, no, it definitely wouldn't. I would do a little bit better than that. I'm just on the fly.
No, that was great on the fly. I appreciate you. And I appreciate your new song. But for those of you who haven't joined us before, welcome. We are John and Vee. We love to recommend movies to you without spoiling them. And this week we are going to discuss all the movies we've seen in 2025 so far.
Yes.
And we like to put these in three different categories. The movies that you should miss, the movies that you could miss, and the movies you can't miss of the year.
It's going to be interesting to hear these three lists on both of our ends, because there's already a couple on one of my lists that shocked myself.
I agree. I believe one of them is Wes Anderson's movie.
Yeah.
But that'll be coming later on in the podcast because we are going to start from the bottom. We are going to start with the movies that you absolutely should miss this year. And we discussed it, and since I watched, unfortunately, a bit less movies than John so far for 2025, I'm actually going to lead off our lists, and then John's going to come in and finish us off with any movies that he has seen separately than I.
Yes.
All right. Have I forgotten anything, or should we start?
No, you did not. Since this is a special episode, there's not a whole lot to get into. Other than the movies that we've seen last week, but we'll get into that at the end of this episode because we have an announcement for ourselves and our audience.
We do have a very special announcement. It'll be another first for our podcast, so stay tuned to the end of the episode for that. But now we're going to dive right in and start off with the movies that you should miss this year, and thankfully, I only have a couple.
Oh, all right.
The first one is a movie that I was so sad it was on this list solely because it stars Harrison Ford, and I love that man. I will always love that man. I put Captain America, Brave New World in the movies you should miss category.
Fascinating. I kind of felt like that's where that one was going to land on your lists of movies.
I believe it's in another section, though, for you.
It is.
Okay. It was just a very forgettable movie. I didn't think the villain was all that interesting, and I certainly don't think that, unfortunately, Anthony Mackie just didn't really do it for me as the new Captain America, so this was definitely on a should-miss list for me. The second one is Hell of a Summer.
Oh, yeah.
It's a horror movie. I really liked the concept of it. I just didn't think the script was executed very well. I thought there were some pretty major editing problems and pacing issues, and so I put that on the should-miss list. It's definitely the worst horror movie I've seen so far this year.
Oh, interesting. I wanted to see it in theaters. I never got around to it based off of what you said, and I really just didn't see it. So there you go.
Well, it's worth missing.
I lost interest. Yeah, I completely lost interest in it. I did almost rent it the other day, but I rented another movie instead.
Okay. And the last movie on my should-miss list so far this year for 2025 is the worst movie I've seen for the year, and I'm going to have to see something really terrible in order for this movie to replace in this award category. The worst movie I've seen so far this year stars Tom Hardy. It's on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Havoc.
Didn't see it either, and
Thank
maybe
you.
I will between now and our full year review of 2025. I might see it by then. I just don't know if I'll want to give my time to it.
Don't waste your time. That's the whole point
All right,
of
maybe I won't.
the recap episodes.
Yeah, that's true. I just love Tom Hardy, and like you said, it's always difficult to see a movie with a great actor that doesn't deliver in a really bad movie, so I'll probably never watch it.
Well, what movies should I never watch that are on your should-miss list?
Oh boy, you ready for this one? I've got 10.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm going to start at the bottom. You loved this movie. I did not. I got ridiculed and dragged through the mud for hating it. Thunderbolts by Marvel, absolutely you should miss.
John's wrong. I will continue saying that anytime he brings up this, the Thunderbolts.
Every opinion is valid. Every opinion is valid. Florence Pugh, I absolutely love. I hated that movie.
Yep, disagree.
Everybody else disagrees with me too, so maybe I will rewatch it one day and give it another shot. Moving along, my next pick was a movie that I saw a trailer for a couple of times. I love Paul Rudd, and the other actor, truthfully, I don't even remember his name, but this movie was Friendship. This is an absolutely should-miss movie. There's like 4 or 5 funny moments, and I guess I just don't get it. I don't know. Everybody that I've talked to and seen write a review for it, especially on the internet, has said it's one of the funniest movies they've ever seen, and I completely disagree with that. It was not good at all, and I think that is an absolute should-miss film. Don't waste your time with friendship.
Okay, yes, I've been hearing good reviews, so it's good to know your opinion.
It is what it is. A lot of people like the other actor, and again, I don't remember his name. He has a show on Netflix that did make me laugh several times. It just, left the theater with everybody else, and nobody had a good time with it.
That's a strong indicator.
Yeah. But moving along, this movie was a streaming, I believe it's on Paramount Plus, starring Michelle Yeoh. This is somehow a Star Trek universe movie. This is Section 31. Horrendous. Absolutely should miss. I turned it off after about 40 minutes because it wasn't going anywhere. And I was bored as hell, so I turned it off, never finished it. Section 31, absolutely should miss.
That's too bad, because I was actually looking forward to watching that movie. It was on my list to watch movie.
Well, maybe you should watch it and tell me I'm wrong again, about just like with Thunderbolts, even though I'm right about Thunderbolts, and will always be right about Thunderbolts.
Okay.
This next one, I was pretty sure it was not going to be on your should-miss list, but it was for me because it didn't do a thing for me, even though Viola Davis is a fantastic actress. This movie, G20, not a good movie. I did not
No,
like
it's
it.
not.
Completely a should-miss film, in my opinion.
It's not it's not a good movie, but I did like it.
I know you did. I know. I just think it was miscast in certain roles, and
Her husband.
Major miscast. But overall, it is what it is. Just didn't enjoy it.
I don't disagree. It's not a great film, so I respect where you put it.
All right. I teetered on putting this on my could-miss list, but I went on should-miss because after about 35 minutes, I kind of just scrolled on my phone and was doing some internet shopping for vinyl records and maybe some band t-shirts. This is kind of sad because we both love Isa Gonzalez. She's been in so many great movies that we've discussed here at Movies You Miss Podcast. But this one was not great. This was Ash, and I didn't like it very much.
I told you it sucked.
You didn't see it, though.
Doesn't matter. I knew it would. I read enough about it. Everybody said that movie was terrible.
Yeah, nobody enjoyed that one. And it had a cool premise. It was very much like Life from a few years ago with Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds and Rebecca Ferguson. It just didn't land for me. It just felt very cheeseball.
I don't normally take online reviews or discussions to heart when people talk about new movies, but when it's so unanimous, I'll take it seriously.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. It's always tough to do the unanimous thing because I hate reading, well, I don't even read Rotten Tomatoes stuff, but anytime I'm on Facebook and I see certified fresh, the percentage and whatnot, it's like, I'm going to make my own opinion, and that's what I've done with every movie that I see. But I do agree with you on the masses, certainly. Sometimes they're right.
Mm-hmm.
My next one was cute, not cute, cool, but not cool. It was too short. It went by way too fast. Nothing really interesting happened. There was some cool fight scenes, but it just was not that great of a movie. I'm talking about Love Hurts with Ki-Hugh Kwan and Ariana DeBose. Not very good. I went and saw it opening day, and I kind of started to nod off about 20 minutes in, and when it ended at 1 hour and 23 minutes, I was like, what? That's it? Okay, well, that wasn't very good. Sorry, Oscar winner Ki-Hugh Kwan and Ariana DeBose, 2 Oscar winners. But some cool fight sequences. It's definitely a should-miss movie, though. It's nothing special.
Which is too bad, because I was really hoping for his resurgence.
Me too, and we might get it, but not with that one.
Okay.
Now we're going to get into the worst of the worst.
Yes.
The top... Oh, these movies pissed me off so much. The next one I will talk about was, I don't even know where to go because these 4 are just so fucking terrible. I'm just going to go with this one. I'm going to go with Wolfman, the Lee Whannell directed kind of retelling of the Wolfman story from the Universal Monster world. This movie sucked so bad. Nobody liked it. I went opening day and was so let down. I love Lee Whannell. He's one of the writers of Saw. He's written Insidious. He's definitely got his hands in the horror world. This was not a good movie. Definitely a should-miss movie. Wolfman, 2025. Thumbs down.
Oof.
Yeah, and I probably should have put this one before Wolfman, but this one just pissed me off to the point where I was raging. And lost many IQ points, and I've actually talked to another buddy of mine who is a horror fan, and we both said the exact same thing to each other about how the script is absolutely so stupid that the writers were like, you know what, the audience is stupid, so let's make them stupider. This is Clown in a Cornfield. Apparently it's based off a book. Fuck that movie. It is awful. Do not watch Clown in a Cornfield. Absolutely should miss.
I just am really entertained the way you talk about it, though, so...
It's really terrible as a movie, and Will Sasso's in it, and Kevin Durant, both awesome actors, both always bringing smiles to my faces. They didn't do it this time. Definitely miss it. No good. And moving along with my final two, this was a battle for the worst movies that I've seen this year. These two are the absolute worst two movies that I've seen in 2025. One of them stars Lucy Liu, directed by Steven Soderbergh, written by David Coep. This is the quote-unquote horror movie Presence. Fuck that movie. I hated it so much. I actually hated it so much that weeks later I had a nightmare about that movie, and actually having sat through it again was how bad that fucking movie was. So that movie sucks. Do not ever watch it.
That's
Do not
bad.
waste your time. It was fucking terrible. Presence sucks. Absolutely should miss.
Which is so disappointing because we just talked about Steven Soderbergh last week in our Father's Day episode and how much we are a fan of so many of his films, and he just does a swing and the miss this year.
Massive swing, massive miss. Now the final worst movie that I saw of 2025. V, I think you know what movie this is. This is a Disney remake. A live-action CGI kerfuffle of garbage starring Rachel Ziegler and Gal Gadot. Snow White and the Dumbass Dwarves. Fuck this retelling. What a piece of absolute shit this movie is. 100% should miss. Do not even think about pushing play on Disney Plus to be like, I'll give it a shot. Don't. I did, and I'm telling you to not waste your time.
To the surprise of no one.
Yep. Worst movie of 2025 so far, next to Presence, and my entire should miss list, including Thunderbolts. Moving on to the next list of movies. V, would you like to start with our next pile of movies, which is the could miss pile of 2025?
Yes, and I'm going to come out swinging because I think we're going to get an argument over this.
Oh, here we go.
The bottom of my could miss pile, very, very close to your should miss list. If you haven't seen the first part of this film, this is a should miss movie for you. Do not watch it. I am talking and crying over this statement because I'm so heartbroken I have to say it. I am talking about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna. I thought it was actually gonna be on your should miss list. I'm surprised it got to the middle section.
It is, with a caveat. It is on my should miss list if you never saw Dead Reckoning. If you have not bothered with Dead Reckoning, skip both of the last two movies for Mission Impossible. Stop at Fallout. The last two movies of Mission Impossible are terrible. They are so upsetting. I'm so disappointed. I think that's all I can say about it, honestly.
Yeah, that's all you can say about that, Forrest Gump. Let's move on.
Okay.
No argument needed. I know you hated them both. I did not, but we'll deal with that later in life.
Hated them both. Then I watched a movie on Hulu starring Nicholas Hoult and Jude Law about a national...
Oh, yeah.
About white supremacists. This is based on a true story from the 80s. It's called The Order. It's a very forgettable film, but it's based on a book called The Silent Brotherhood, which I think I would recommend instead. I haven't read the book yet, but it's got to be better than this movie.
Oh, okay. I do want to watch that. I almost watched that a couple of times over the last 2 weeks.
You can take it or leave it. We've already talked about G20 and Thunderbolts, so I'll move past both of those and discuss The Accountant 2. It's a solid sequel. I love John Bernthal. He was so hot in this movie. Love the costume designer. Thank you for dressing him the way you did. And is it weird that it's my favorite Ben Affleck performance, given he's playing someone who's neurodivergent? But...
No, I don't think that's weird. It's a great role for him.
It really is. I thought he did a great job. I really liked it as a sequel. Highly recommend both those movies.
Sweet.
There's an independent film called Odessa that I talked a little bit about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's streaming right now, I believe on Hulu if I remember correctly, but Odessa is a post-apocalyptic teen movie. There's a lot of neon. It's very 80s feeling. It's a lot of fun. It's a little intense, but I put it right up there with Alita Battle Angel in terms of level of violence, but being more of a teen movie.
Okay.
It was fun. It had great music in it, too.
I've almost watched that one a few times, too, but I did not push play. Maybe I will before the end of the year.
One of my favorite horror movies of the year is Death of a Unicorn. This is close to being on my can't miss list because I had so much fun with it. It was like Aliens or Jurassic Park, but with unicorns. The cast is great. Paul Rudd is fantastic. So is Jenna Ortega. Oh, God, the supporting cast is wonderful, too. Will Poulter's in there. God, I had fun from the beginning to the end of this film. I need to watch it again. It's so entertaining. It was great.
It is on my could miss list as well. I did not classify it as a horror movie in any regard, but I had a great time with it as well.
It's a creature feature.
I just didn't feel any terror. I was more laughing the whole time. I didn't.
Well, it's a horror
just could
comedy.
not take it seriously. I honestly just think it's more of a sci-fi comedy. I really did not look at it as a horror movie at all. But that's okay. You know, that's completely fine. I loved it too. I thought it was great. I actually recommended it to my parents, and they told me a few weeks ago that they got about 15 minutes in and turned it off. But yeah, I loved it. I think so. Yeah. But Richard E. Grant was great. Tia Leone was awesome. The whole movie was a blast. I definitely would likely have that in my collection in the future.
Awesome. I'll totally watch it at your house at some point.
Sweet.
I think we both loved Mickey 17.
We both did.
You read the book.
I did.
I have not yet, but Robert Pattinson stars, so does Toni Collette and Mark Ruffalo. Everybody's great in this movie. I love the concept. Highly recommend this sci-fi film. Mickey 17 was great.
Completely agree.
Another movie I watched that's based on a true story, it's called Last Breath. It stars Woody Harrelson and Cliff Curtis. Really cool film about underwater deep sea commercial divers. Really intense. The score is incredible. It's a technical achievement because so much of it is practical. I think it could have been, funny enough, a little bit more suspenseful, but I like that they actually were true to the story of what happened underneath that water. Mm-hmm. It's streaming now. Last Breath. Highly recommend.
It is on another list of mine, but yes, I will agree.
Fabulous. Okay. And then a movie that is, in fact, a horror movie that you insisted that I watch, which I'm so grateful that you did. Hard Eyes. Such a fun horror movie. It came out over Valentine's. I actually went and saw it on Valentine's Day. There's wonderful pop culture references. I had a great time with this movie. I loved it so much. Thanks again for making me watch it.
Hell yeah.
You also made me watch Companion.
Yes, I did.
Which is close to being on my can't miss list. It was so good. Highly recommend that film to just about anyone. It's a really cool sci-fi movie with a bit of, not horror, but it's definitely a thriller.
Yes.
And it stars Jack Quaid, who's been having a banger year.
Yes, indeed he has.
And another sequel we both watched this year, Den of Thieves 2.
Yes.
It was fun. I liked it as a sequel. It was very, very different than the original, though. The first one was a crazy, awesome action film. Well, this felt more just like a heist movie. The locations were beautiful, though. I thought Gerard Butler did a great job. So did O'Shea Jackson. So it's a solid sequel. Not anything that's groundbreaking, but certainly worth watching, especially if you've seen the first one.
I agree. It is on my could miss list as well.
A very surprising movie for me this year, especially because it was on Netflix, but it gave us the return of Cameron Diaz, so we were both so excited to watch it. Back in action on Netflix. I absolutely loved this film. I almost put it on my can't miss list just because it's that good and it was that surprising how good it was. Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz together are a lot of fun. I laughed throughout the entire film. I cannot wait to watch this movie again.
Definitely a great flick, also on my could miss list. I'll never forget pushing play on it and telling Amy that it would likely be a good time, and about 10 minutes into it, we were having a blast, and it didn't let up from there.
Great. I'm so glad you liked it too, and those are my movies on my could miss list so far this year.
All right, not a bad list.
Thanks. And what are the rest of the movies on your could miss list?
First one on my could miss list is a movie that I don't classify as a horror movie. It kind of made me... It disturbed me a little bit, but not enough to be like, wow, yeah, that was a really good horror movie. It was better than the first go-round with these two directors that are YouTubers. This is Bring Her Back with Sally Hawkins. It's good. It's not great, but it also is a bit ridiculous because there's almost no exposition as to exactly what's going on. Oh. But overall, it's like a C movie for me, and it's a could miss only because I feel like a lot of people would enjoy it over myself.
Okay.
Next one is the third part in a trilogy of a English teddy bear type character that really likes marmalade sandwiches. This is Paddington in Peru. My wife and I went and saw it. She's a big Paddington fan, and I liked the first two, and we enjoyed Paddington in Peru. It just wasn't as fantastic as the first two, but still enjoyable and definitely family friendly. So it's a could miss only in that regard, but if you have young children, definitely put it on for them.
Nice.
The next one stars Keke Palmer and Za. I went and saw this on a Friday afternoon. Had a very good time with it. It's titled One of Them Days. Apparently there's a sequel coming.
Wow.
I don't know why, but this one was entertaining enough. Certainly a streamable movie. I had a good time. Keke Palmer is great, and so is Za. The comedy's there. It's nothing we haven't seen before, but very entertaining. The next one stars Jason Statham, and it's not the Beekeeper sequel like it looked like in the trailers. This is titled A Working Man, similar to One of Them Days. Nothing we haven't seen before, especially when it comes to Jason Statham, because literally every movie that he does is almost the same. But it was fun enough, and if you're looking for something to shut your mind off and watch him kick the shit out of people, give it a shot.
That's a perfect descriptor of Jason Statham movies.
Absolutely. This next one is on a could miss list. It was almost on my should miss list, but after I thought about it and got chewed out a couple times by V about it, I put it on my I put it on my could miss list because it is entertaining and it's a cool interwoven story of stories. But it's still not that great, but it was all right enough for me to enjoy. It was called Freaky Tales with Pedro Pascal. Apparently, it's on another list of yours because it wasn't on this list of yours. So we'll get into that when we get there. But it's fine. It's nothing great, but it's entertaining enough.
Disagree.
Oh, all right. So good. You didn't like it. I knew it.
No, I disagree that it's mediocre.
Yeah, I know you do. Moving right along, this next one, my father and I saw in 4DX. This is the Mel Gibson-directed Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Dockery, and Topher Grace. This is Flight Risk.
God, that movie looked terrible.
It was awesome, and it's not meant to be taken seriously at all, even though the trailers make it look like it's going to be some intense, crazy thriller. It is absolutely a blast and hysterical. I think it's streaming now, completely worth everybody's time, but it's a could miss. It's nothing special.
I don't like any of those actors. I like the actress, but I don't like any of the actors or the director, so I'm going to skip it.
There you go. You will skip it. No big deal. This film, V, I guess it's on another list of yours, but it's on my could miss list because it was fine. I just didn't enjoy it very much. And it stars Rami Malek and Lawrence Fishburne. This is The Amateur.
It is on a different list of mine.
It's on a wrong list of yours. I know you actually had a lot more fun with it than I did. Mm-hmm. But that is another one on my could miss list. Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller lead this next one. This is the Apple-produced The Gorge. Completely missable. But if you like Anya Taylor-Joy, give it a shot. She is gorgeous in all black and black hair, and she knows how to wield a gun. And there's a lot of cool sci-fi action going on with the remaining about 35 minutes of the movie. It's nothing special, but it's worth checking out if you are bored on a rainy day and you have an Apple TV subscription.
I almost watched it, and then you told me it was mediocre, so I skipped it.
Yeah, it's definitely mediocre. I would say it's like a C+. Yeah, not
I have lots of movies I could
everybody's
watch
time.
instead.
Absolutely. We already discussed Den of Thieves 2. It is on my could miss list. Warner Brothers dropped this movie, and I never saw a trailer for it. I only saw posters for it. But I went because it was Looney Tunes, Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. This is The Day the Earth Blew Up.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that film.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did. It is a could-miss movie only because I don't think anybody's really going to find it very funny. I actually did find it very funny. It's, I think, PG-rated. The theater that I went into was completely full of parents and their children. No children laughed, but all the parents did. So if you're over 25, I think you'll enjoy the movie. The references through pop culture and the way that they use OnlyFans is very entertaining.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's Looney Tunes for you.
Mm-hmm.
V, you had this on your should-miss list, and I knew you likely would. I think I'm one of the only people that enjoyed it on the planet. I think my buddy Sean, he's also a Marvel nut, he liked it too. This was Captain America: Brave New World.
I'm so shocked that you like that movie, considering how much you dislike most Marvel movies.
I know. I think that's why I liked it so much. I went in with no expectations. I saw it opening day, and then I went about a week later in the 4DX theater, and I had a good time. I shut my brain off, and the thing about it is, honestly, I think the trailer was just so damn good that I was hoping the movie would be great, and it's not a great movie, but I had a fun time with it.
Okay.
We just talked about Back in Action with Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx. We both really liked that one. It's on my could miss list also, and Death of a Unicorn. Moving along with films on my could miss list, Alex Garland helped write and direct this movie. This is a chunk of time during the Iraq War. This is a film called Warfare.
Yeah, I remember the trailer really intriguing me.
It's a very, very good movie. It's very well done. The cast is fantastic. It is could miss only because not a lot of people like war movies.
Okay.
The next one was teetering on cannot miss and could miss. I'm putting it on could miss only because it's very brutal and very bloody. This is based off a video game. This is Until Dawn.
Oh, I still need to watch that film. It's on my list of to watch movies for the year.
Yeah, I loved it. I had so much fun. I was the only person in the theater when I saw it, so I could scream and holler at the screen whenever something crazy went down. And let me tell you, some crazy shit goes down. It's very, very cool concept of a movie. Highly recommend. It's on my could miss only because of how brutal it is.
Okay.
John Wick universe has been extended now with Ana de Armas in Ballerina on my could miss list because it's a completely unnecessary movie, but it is a lot of fucking fun, and Ana de Armas kicks so much ass in this flick. I still recommend it to people, but it is definitely a could miss. It's not something that you need to rush out and see.
That's good because I plan on watching it in theaters in the next couple of weeks, so that works.
Perfect. All right. And my final one you just talked about with Robert Pattinson, Toni Collette, and Mark Ruffalo, Mickey 17. I just rewatched it again at home, and it is such a badass movie, and the book was so fucking funny, and the movie is hysterical. Pattinson is such a badass in this movie, and so is everybody. Mickey 17 could miss because it is so out there and so different that a lot of people, I feel like, would kind of turn the movie off after a certain point in the movie. But I loved it. My dad and I went and saw it opening weekend, and my dad really enjoyed it too. Mickey 17, 2 thumbs up, but on could miss because it's certainly not going to be a cup of tea for everybody.
But at the same time, Robert Pattinson playing 2 different roles to perfection.
Oh, yeah.
Nearly puts it on the can't miss list for me.
All right, sweet.
Okay, well, that's a good list of could miss movies.
It's been a good year so far.
It really has. It's certainly redeeming last year.
Oh, that's for sure. I think we are ready to jump into your cannot miss list of the year, V. What do you say?
I'm really excited. I have 5 movies on my cannot miss list. I'm going to start from the bottom and go all the way to my number 1 movie of the year so far. First is another movie starring Jack Quaid. This is such a fun film. It's like Home Alone and Crank having a baby. And Amber Mid-Thunder being in it after she starred in Prey. It was so great to see her on screen again. This is Novocaine.
Great, great movie.
It really is. It's currently streaming. Highly recommend watching this film.
It is on my cannot miss list as well. I just watched it again, I think a week and a half ago on streaming. I laughed my entire ass off. It's such a badass flick.
Yes, I need to watch it a second time, that's for sure. And
yeah, you do.
My next movie is actually a movie that was on your could miss list of the year. I put it on my can't miss list because I had such a great time with it. I thought it was well written. I love revenge films. I also really enjoyed that it was just a normal guy trying to get some justice for his wife. This stars Rami Malek. This is The Amateur. I loved it, and I totally understand why you would put it on your could miss list, but for me, it was that good, and I was that excited to recommend it to other people that I had to put it on my can't miss list.
Makes sense.
Another movie that was on your could miss list that made it to my can't miss list stars Pedro Pascal. It's period accurate. As someone who grew up in the Bay Area and my family, actually both sides of my family is from the Bay Area, this felt very authentic to me in terms of the time period, the clothes, the way people talk. This is so Oakland. I loved it so much. It's an anthology movie, which is a lot of fun. So all these different stories were really cool to see together. Nazis were getting totally wrecked in this film, which is another favorite trope of mine. So that helped. This is Freaky Tales. I highly recommend this film. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit campy in a great way. Especially anyone from the Bay Area should be watching this movie.
All right.
Okay, my last 2 films for our recap so far for 2025. These 2 are vying for the number 1 position. Depending on the day, they will switch positions. In the number 2 spot, today at least, is Sinners.
Oh, yeah. I knew that was going to be on your can't miss list.
Absolutely. Starring Michael B. Jordan, directed by Ryan Coogler. This is a vampire movie that takes place in the early 20th century. The soundtrack is incredible. I've been listening to the soundtrack since I watched the film. It has a rich story and beautiful characters. Do not watch the trailer no matter what you do.
Yeah, don't watch any of them.
Just sit down and push play on this movie. Sinners is an incredible film. I'm so glad it's getting the accolades, the attention, and the box office that it's getting. And I love that Ryan Coogler's already come out and said, no, of course there's not going to be a sequel.
Yeah, that's a very, very smart thing
So
for him
badass.
to do.
So yes.
Yeah, when people were talking about that, like, can't wait for the sequel. I'm like, why the fuck would there be a sequel?
Yeah, totally. So yes, please watch Sinners.
Sweet.
And so that means my number one movie so far of 2025 is, ironically, a Steven Soderbergh film, considering that his other film is on the bottom of your list.
That's for sure it is, yes.
One of my all-time favorite tropes, as many of you know, is a married couple caper. I love spy movies, and everything about this film is perfection, except the score. I thought the score was a bit misplaced. I didn't like the music in it, which is actually common for me with Soderbergh films, especially the more serious ones. But otherwise, this movie is exceptional. I cannot wait to own it. This movie stars Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. This is Black Bag.
Nice.
Yeah, so those are my top 5 movies of the year so far.
Well, that's a pretty good list, except you're forgetting 2 movies that I know you definitely saw this year, and I'm curious what list they would be on, V.
Oh my gosh, okay, great. Let's share your list and let me know.
All right, here we go. Jumping into my movies that you cannot miss, although this first one is in between cannot miss and could miss because it is so goddamn infuriating. It is one of 2 documentaries that I watched so far this year. This is Titan, the Ocean Gate submersible disaster on Netflix.
I tried to watch that ahead of this episode this week, and I could not get to it, and I was so pissed, but it's on my list. I'm so excited to watch it.
Yeah, give it a shot. I watched it right before we recorded this episode, the afternoon of. Oh, yeah, you got to watch it so we can talk about it.
Gotta love hubris.
Yeah, arrogance and hubris and fucking psychotic. Anyway, we'll get into it later. And I put it in between because it is cannot miss, but it is also could miss because it is so infuriating and it might be too soon for some people. But I thought that it was done very well, and we'll get into it when you watch it.
All right, sounds good.
So let's get into my true cannot miss list. There's a bunch of movies on here, so I'll try and blast through them as quickly as possible. Ben Affleck and John Bernthal in The Accountant 2 completely blew me away, took me by surprise. I loved it. I just watched it again last week, too, on Amazon since it's streaming. I love it. It cracks me up. The stunt work is so awesome. Affleck is great. My wife loved it, too. So, yeah, great movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you there. It's a really fun film. I just thought it wasn't anything we hadn't seen before, but there's definitely an argument to be made to put on a can't miss list.
All right. I told you to see this movie. You put it on your could miss, but I could put it on my can't miss because it also just took me completely by surprise. A slasher movie, of which I do not normally like, Hard Eyes, is on my cannot miss of 2025.
Now that, I'm excited for the sequel.
Yes, me too. Now this one, V, I know you saw because I saw it twice and I loved it so very much. This movie is absolutely out of control. Stars Theo James, based on the Stephen King short story directed by Osgood Perkins. This is The Monkey.
Holy shit, yes, I did watch that movie. It would be on my could miss list of the year. How did I not write that down?
I don't know.
My bad, but yes, it's a really fun horror movie and another movie where an actor plays 2 roles.
Yeah, and he kills them both.
He really... Yes, he does. Although that cheerleader scene almost puts it on a can't miss list for me.
Fuck yeah. So fucking funny. Adam Scott being in the first 5 minutes too. Just absolutely fantastic. Loved it so much. Based on a true story, Woody Harrelson and Cliff Curtis star in this one. I loved it to death. I saw the trailer and so glad I saw it in theaters. It hit me real hard in the feels. Got me crying. Amazing soundtrack. Last Breath. Fantastic film.
Yes, it is.
You have this one on your list because Jack Quaid is having a banger, as you say, of a year with movies. Novocaine with Amber Midthunder. So much freaking fun. I know we just touched on it. I wanted to touch on it again.
Yes, please do. Any opportunity we can have to talk about Novocaine, I will take it. I love that you put it on your can't miss list of the year too.
Hell yeah. This film I was so excited about because I have read the 1,500-page Alexander Dumas classic. This is the French retelling 3-hour epic, The Count of Monte Cristo.
I have got to watch that film.
Yes, you do. And everybody that has read the book should watch this. It is the true adaptation, unlike that god-awful abomination with Guy Pearce and Jim Caviezel. This one is extremely well put together, meticulous, beautifully acted, and it's in French. So that's all good right there.
Yes, I was so excited about that film as soon as I watched the trailer last year.
Yep. You just mentioned this one as one of your top 2 favorite films of the year, starring Michael B. Jordan and directed by Ryan Coogler. Sinners, just wanted to touch on it again. Great movie. I loved it. Can't wait to own the 4K. Don't need a sequel. And I got to work with Lee Jun-Lee, who was in the film too, so that was a little bit of the icing on the cake.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I just realized the other movie that I didn't mention that is totally on my list for goodness.
Oh, good.
You'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we will. Because it's on my cannot miss list, but we'll get there shortly. This blew me away, and no pun intended, because the first 17 seconds of this movie were so out of control that the movie did not let up. It is unlike any other Wes Anderson movie I've seen, starring Benicio del Toro. This is The Phoenician Scheme.
I think I need to watch it.
Yeah, it's really blowing me away that this is a film on my cannot miss list. I was so pleasantly surprised with this movie. I will definitely watch it again, very likely own it, because my wife wants to own it, so it's going to show up in the collection at some point.
That's awesome. A contribution from your wife. It's always fun.
Exactly. I know. David Trachtenberg gave us a great movie with Prey and Amber Midthunder, like we just mentioned in Novocaine, and he just gave us another fantastic film that is on Hulu, animated. This is Predator, Killer of Killers.
It's an animated movie?
It is animated, yes.
How did I not know that?
I don't know.
Oh.
I didn't know anything about it until about 2 days before the release date. I started seeing people posting about Predator, Killer of Killers is so great. Because I've been seeing these trailers for Predator Badlands, so I started to think that, are people seeing Predator Badlands before it's out? No, Predator Killer of Killers, completely different story, and so badass. Check it out if you like Prey or Predator. I've only seen the original Predator and Prey. I've not seen any of the other Predator films or Alien Predator or Predator Requiem or whatever they are. But yeah, this one is so much fun. Definitely 2 thumbs up. Give it a shot. So brutal.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that film.
You have this on your cannot miss list too. Kate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, Steven Soderbergh, Black Bag. Fantastic fucking movie. I loved it to death. Cannot wait to watch that one again.
I'm so glad I made you watch it.
Me too.
My sister and her husband loved the movie too, so.
Oh, great.
I haven't heard a single bad thing about the film. I'm so sad it didn't do well in the theaters. It totally deserved to do better.
Yeah, and Steve from Whiskey by the Fire saw it and didn't like it, so there's something wrong with him.
Well, that's
Just kidding,
actually
Steve.
a first.
Yeah,
we usually agree on most films. That's interesting.
On most of them, yeah, we do.
Okay.
This next one, V, you had on your, I think, should miss list, but I have it on my cannot miss list because I loved it so much, and I love all of them except for number 2. This is Mission Impossible Final Reckoning.
I just feel bad that through most of the movie you were thinking about how much I was going to love it.
I know, me too. I'll get over it.
But I'm
over it.
Okay. I'm glad. I did get a poster for the fan experience that I went to, and
sweet.
I will happily give it to you.
I have an IMAX poster that's actually hanging in my theater room right now, so if it's any different, then maybe I'll take it off your hands.
Okay.
This next one, V, I know you saw because we were both so excited about it. It's Bullet Train in the Sky, Josh Hartnett in Fight or Flight.
Yep, that's the one I just remembered a couple minutes ago that I hadn't mentioned. It's on my could miss list just because it's a little insane, especially the last 20 minutes. I thought it went off the rails a little bit, so it wasn't from start to finish a perfect movie, but otherwise, yes, it was so entertaining.
I loved it. Josh Hartnett was so great. Everybody delivers in that movie, and it makes me want to rewatch Bullet Train. So thank you for that, everybody involved with Fight or Flight.
Any excuse to rewatch Bullet Train, I'll take.
This next one is number 6 in a franchise we all of at least our generation, V, knows to never drive behind a log truck. This is Final Destination Bloodlines. Cannot miss it if you are a Final Destination fan. It is so badass and so brutal. And I've been watching a lot of videos lately on the practical effects on how they kill these people. A lot of it was actually done practically. Obviously, they're still alive. They're actors. They weren't killed.
Wait a minute.
The special effects were done on set practically, and it looks really badass and makes the movie even better. So Final Destination Bloodlines, give it a shot if you are a Final Destination fan.
Fabulous.
These last 2, I'm only putting this one I'm about to mention as the second best movie of the year that I've watched, because not only is the movie that this documentary follows along one of my most favorite films of all time and will be on the podcast, it's a Disney movie, and I just recently got to meet the man himself, Jim Cummings, voice actor, Disney legend. He plays Pete in a Goofy movie. This is Not Just a Goof, the Goofy movie documentary.
Oh, I know you're so excited for that film to come out.
Yes. So look at that. I have 2 documentaries over you already in 2025.
That is shocking.
I know. That was kind of why I watched Titan when I did, because I was like, I'm going to try and get ahead of V on documentaries. I think you had like 6 last year, so I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't think I had any last year.
No, we watched Endurance together.
Oh, that's true. Yes, okay, so I had 1. Perfect. So I have 1 more than I did last year, and I'll have more before the end of the year. Now, my favorite film of 2025, I saw opening day. I went 3 days later after that, and then I went about a week later after that. I saw it 3 times in less than 2 weeks. This is Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid and Rupert Friend in Companion. My favorite film of 2025 so far.
Really?
Abso-fucking-lutely. I have the 4K. I've watched it. My wife enjoyed it. I love it. It's so fantastic. It blew me away because I did not ever see a trailer for it. I went in almost completely blind, and it completely took me by surprise.
That's great. I know you loved it, but it came out a couple months ago, actually, in like January or February.
It was January, yep.
Yeah, and so I am so impressed that it's still topping your list.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it will. We're in June, and so far it's 6 months into the year. It's still my favorite movie of the year.
That's wonderful. I personally like Novocaine over Companion regarding Jack Quaid movies that he starred in so far this year, but I'm so glad. I know you loved it so much, and I was so happy for you, especially because it was right after you'd seen Presents, I think, and you just had a shit time at the theater.
Yeah, yep. I completely
redeemed yourself with that one for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then you made me watch it, which I appreciate.
I'm glad. So that is my cannot miss list. Those are our lists of half of 2025. Pretty good stuff so far.
Yeah, I totally agree. Although I will say I think we disagreed more at our mid-year review than we did for our full year review of 2024.
Yeah, we did. We totally did. And that's okay.
Yeah, definitely. Our audience has a lot of movies to choose from then.
Oh, they most certainly do.
We will be posting all of these movies and our lists in the coming days on social media, just as we do for every recap episode, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, do stay tuned for that.
So that wraps up our very first mid-year review. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought. If you have any feedback for us, since it's the first one we've ever done, more than happy to hear your opinions on it, but we certainly had a good time, so we hope you did too. And now, John, do you want to share the announcement with our audience about what we're doing next?
Yes, let's drop this news on our audience. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in 3 years, John and V are taking a hiatus. It'll be for several weeks, but do not fret, we will be re-releasing some of our favorite episodes over the next several weeks to you. They'll be re-edited, revamped, maybe a little touched on.
Touched up?
That's what she said. Yeah, touched up and touched on, because that's what she said. So we will. So keep an ear out for those episodes. Still dropping an episode every Wednesday, and I will be checking in on social media and dropping my reels every time I go to the movies, as per usual. And I'll be jumping in and doing a couple of vlogs on some of my favorite movies that we haven't discussed here, but will likely be on future lists. So do keep an eye out for that. But do not fret, we will be back in August with some fresh new episodes for your ears. So thank you guys so much for being loyal listeners for the last 3 years. We look forward to bringing you new episodes in August. And before we drop the revitalized episodes, we will have a short discussion on why we picked these episodes to re-release. And on top of that, there might be a special guest episode coming in the next couple of weeks as well. So keep an ear out for that. And I am actually going to be a guest on another podcast. But when that comes, we will give you that info as well. So you can get all those updates and everything else on our social media. Stay tuned on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. So please do rate, review, subscribe, follow us along here on the socials.
Yes, follow us on all social media at Movies You Miss Pod. And if you have any requests of episodes from our very first year that you would love to hear re-release, please go ahead and give us a message. We're happy to take some requests. And as always, please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on any podcast platform that you use to listen to us: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, etc. We are on YouTube now, and as most of you know, we love to finish out our podcast episodes with film as a form of art, and in art, every opinion is valid. Except if you think
V's going to see more movies than me before the end of the year.
No bet. Oh, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And until next week, bye-bye.
Cheers, everybody.